singing over again over S.D. Jones. Jones to the rope. Oh, what a classic maneuver that was. How in the world Rodz escaped that? But Jones really went up high. Risk of breaking his neck there. Telegraphing that maneuver. Rodz off the rope. Rodz missing with his smash. Referee breaks the hair pull up. Headbutt, that'll be interesting. Rodz on the short end of that one. Really rocks back and lets him out. Another headbutt, and Rodz falls face first to the canvas. Cover two. Still can't get him down. Off the rope. Shoulder block. Nicely done. Stepping over Rodz, back from the near side now. Rodz waiting for him, lifts the knee to the midsection. Snaps, no, does not snap over. Jones pulls him down quite nicely. He gets it. S.D. Jones doing very well for himself against Johnny Rodz. Hard-fought battle for Jones, but nevertheless, it'll go down in the record book as a victory for Popular Special Delivery.
It is a time, 4 minutes and 48 seconds on the winner, S.D. Special Delivery Jones.
S.D. Jones victorious. Let's go to slow motion action, Pat. Off the rope, stepping over his man.
Here comes the knee from Johnny Rodz. That's where he goes for the flying mare, and a beautifully executed backslide by S.D. Jones. Held him down there very tight for the count of 3.
Interesting as well to note, although we can't see it because of our vantage point, that on that maneuver, Jones was, of course, driving his shoulders and his neck as well into Johnny Rodz to ensure that the gravity kept the shoulders down. That, of course, plus the grasp with the arms. So it'll go down in the record book as a victory for S.D. Jones, and we'll return as we continue in a moment.
Fabulous holiday season.
On that date, on the date of February 16, that Monday, All-Star Wrestling once again returns to Madison Square Garden. Returning to the Garden after quite a lengthy absence, mammoth proportion Hulk Hogan, set to take on Quick Draw Rick McGraw. A whole host of others will be on the card, including Fred Blassie's Killer Khan. And also scheduled, ladies and gentlemen, the 6-man tag team Donnybrook. Tony Garea, Rick Martel, and Pat Patterson, one side of the coin. The other side of the coin, the triple threat, if you would. Lou Albano dons the tights along with Rex and King, his Moondogs. In addition to that, Pedro Morales set to defend the Intercontinental Heavyweight title against Sergeant Slaughter. And Bob Backland waiting in the wings anxiously to defend the World Wrestling Federation Championship against the #1 contender, the bounty hunter from Borger, Texas, Stan Hansen. At this moment, regretfully, our guest, Lou Albano.
What do you mean, regretfully, punk? First of all, it's not too often that the captain dons the tights. And when I do, brother, you know I'm ready, Teddy. Captain is ready. Now, Pat Patterson is nothing but a baby-faced punk announcer. The man is not a wrestler. He's in your class. He's the scum of the earth. He ain't nothing but a TV, Mr. TV, as Ernie Ladd called you, Mr. TV announcer. Ooh, you and that Pat Patterson. Now, he's at the side of the champions, Rick Martel and Tony Garea. Man, sounds like a disease. Tony Garea, up against the captain in my main man, my champions, right here. Moondog it. Come on, baby. Come on, Moondog. There you go. King and Rex. Look at the man. Look at the man. Look at that teeth. Look at that. Look at the man. No, yeah. Yeah. Right there. Right there.
Lou Albano along with King and Rex. Thank you, gentlemen. The MoonDogs, ladies and gentlemen. MoonDogs along with Lou Albano. And you can bet there will be confusion, mass confusion in Madison Square Garden on that night as they meet Pat Patterson, Tony Garea, and Rick Martel. Our guest now, the World Wrestling Federation champion, Bob Backland. Mr. Backland, your opponent, a man who, as we stated last week, has left his mark every place he goes. He's unbelievable in Stan Hansen.
Well, he's a tough man, you know, but a lot of things have happened to me since I've been the World Wrestling Federation champion. A lot of things that the managers do, Vince, and at one time in my career was kind of getting me down because so many things were happening and it was discouraging me. But about a year and a half ago, I decided to say, heck with these managers. I'm going to give it everything I got to keep this belt. They were trying to discourage me, trying to mentally tear me down, but right now they've mentally built me up because I feel like I feel great. I feel ready, and Blassie's brought this Stan Hansen in to defeat me, to try to break my neck. Well, we'll see, Vince. We'll find out who the better man is. If he breaks my neck, makes me submit, then he's the champion. Then he deserves to have this belt around his waist, and I don't. But I'm going to do all I can do to see that that doesn't happen. Because you know how I feel about Freddie Blassie. You know how I feel about him coming out here with all his money and his diamond rings. Boy, it really makes me feel good to defeat one of his men. And I know it makes those fans feel good. And what makes them feel good makes me feel good.
Thank you very much. Bob Backland, his analysis of the upcoming main event in Madison Square Garden on the 16th of February as he squares off against Stan Hansen. And now our guest will be the manager of Stan Hansen, Fred Blassie.
Piggly Wiggly night, all winners for Freddie Blassie. But number one is Stan Hansen. When he relieves you of your title, you keep saying, you know what the people think about what I think about Freddie Blassie. Nobody don't care about what you think about Freddie Blassie. Most of all, myself. I don't care what you, Bob Backland, or those pencil neck geeks out there in TV land think about me. All I care about is number one, Freddie Blassie getting that world's title. Makes no difference how much money I have to spend or who I have to get, but now I've got the man. This is the man I brought back from the Orient. I said, the time is right. Right now, Backland is tired. He's whipped. He's had it. So give me the belt, and I guarantee that's what's going to happen.
Fred Blassie couldn't do it with Killer Khan. Maybe he can do it with Stan Hansen as he appears in Madison Square Garden.
Iron Claw, Baron von Raschke, and
Madison Square Garden on the 19th day of November, a Monday night, scheduled to compete in the Wrestling Spectacular will be the likes of the American Dream, Mr. Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes meeting a 300-pound Swede Hansen, what should prove to be quite an outstanding match indeed. Scheduled as well on the 19th of November, rather, we'll be seeing the likes of Pat Patterson once again return to the Garden and forced, actually, to once again face the individual who is likely to take the Intercontinental Championship away from Mr. Pat Patterson, making reference to Ted DiBiase. From there, yet another return match we'll be seeing will be the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship. The newly crowned champions, Ivan Putski and Tito Santana, facing the Valiant Brothers in a return event. A very special attraction, a most unusual attraction being presented on the 19th of November. Captain Lou Albano puts on the tights and will attempt to prove that indeed he's a better individual than an individual, of course, he has coached and managed in handsome Jimmy Valiant, the representative of the Valiant family on this occasion in Madison Square Garden. In the main event and waiting in the wings, Big Bob Duncombe. Mr. Duncombe, the number one contender, meeting Bob Backland for the World Wrestling Federation title. It's now our pleasure to bring on the champion of this moment, Bob Backland. First of all, Bob, I'd like to wish you congratulations indeed for your victory in Madison Square Garden recently, pinning your opponent 1, 2, 3, but Mr. Duncombe, perhaps a horse of a different color, so to speak, in many, many respects. He's not only a big man, He's a man with tremendous agility. Every asset you can imagine is possessed by Big Bob Duncan.
Well, yes, he is, Vince. He's a tough man. I've watched a lot of films on him. He's very agile, and he knows his way around the ring very well, and he's got a lot of confidence in himself, and that's what you need to be a professional wrestler. You have to be confident and know your abilities, and he certainly does have the ability, and he does have the past. He's been an athlete since he was 10 years old, probably younger than that, and competition has been maybe kicked into him and ground into him, but he's one of the toughest competitors, and I'm going to have my hands full, Vince, but I'm going to hope I can do my best and come out with a victory. I'm going to give it 100%. There's too many fans out there that have been helping me and getting me where I'm at, and I'm going to give it 100% for all of them.
Duncan, we've seen him do any number of holds. I might add to perfection, actually, and one of them is a bulldog, actually, where he just grinds his opponent's face, the neck area, right into the mat.
Yes, I've watched him do that to quite a different number of people, and once he does that to them, they're pretty much finished, Vince, and it does cause some injuries to the head, and it could possibly cause a concussion, and it could possibly retire you from wrestling and even retire you from life, and I'm going to have to watch out for that very close, and I know that's what he wants to do with me, because that's how he wins his matches, but it's going to be interesting, Vince. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob Backland. Our guest now coming into view, Captain Louis Albano. Mr. Albano.
Well, this can be a double celebration for the captain. As you know, the Valiant Brothers have chosen Jimmy to represent the team. They haven't been successful since they turned around and they dropped the captain, claiming I took too much money, claiming this, claiming I interfered. But let me tell you this, Vince McMahon, I made the Valiant Brothers. I can beat Jimmy, I can beat Johnny, I can beat Jerry.